Hi there, yogis. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to take a few minutes to just talk about pigeon pose. It's a pose that gets a bad rap sometimes because it can be difficult on the knees and hips. But if it's done properly with adequate adjustments and modifications, it can really feel good in the pelvic region and release a lot of unnecessary tension. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy this quick video. Pigeon pose gets a bad rap. So let's take a minute to examine how we can make this pose work for your body and explore a few alternatives that can fit a little bit easier into a vinyasa flow type setting. So first of all, pigeon doesn't have to be done in one particular way. So originally the pose starts where we bring one knee forward and they say bend at a 90 degree, but that's pretty impossible for a lot of bodies. And if you'll see here, I'm having trouble keeping that 90 degree bend in the knee, and I have good news. You know what we can do? We can just keep that knee bent and bring the foot a little bit closer to the groin. This allows a little more room in the knee so we have less compression. Now still, you can see me and my cranky pelvis, I'm still elevated off of the floor. So what we can do is grab a block and place it underneath the bent knee side. This will give me a little bit more stability. I'm using my hands to stabilize as well, turning the chest forward and gently bracing down towards the top of the right foot. And of course, the front knee is bent, but also pushing down into the floor. So this is a kind of modification on the knee, just bringing the foot in closer that can help if you're dealing with knee pains or a little bit of tension there that you don't want to experience. Now, a very common pigeon alternative is lying on your back in figure 4. But if you've ever been in a vinyasa or a flow class and they say take pigeon or a pigeon alternative, and you've got to find some time to get on your back and cross the ankle over the knee, that can feel frustrating and a little bit clumsy. So my suggestion for when pigeon is called out in any kind of flow class is to actually take a low lunge. So step the foot forwards. When they say bend your right knee forward into pigeon, just step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Lower down onto the left knee. Use the hands then to push the ground away, lift the chest. And then again, push down through both legs so we have a sense of tone throughout the pelvic region. Draw the low belly up and stay here. Or you can take it into a twist, wrapping the arm behind the back or bracing the hand against the knee. Another great way to open the long leg hip flexors and to give a little space into the outer hip of the bent side. Another alternative for pigeon is the 90-90 seat, where you can start with your bum on the ground and feet wide, kind of like you're in a happy baby position. We then keep the feet wide and the knees bent to about 90 degrees, and we lower the knees over to one side. This is going to give us that shape for the outer hip of the front leg. Then you can stay here and fold forward. Again, this might be a little bit clumsy in a vinyasa flow class, in which case you might want to choose the lunge. But if you have some time, this is a great way to take pigeon without loading the knee at all. If you want to go a little bit deeper and a little bit closer to the traditional pigeon shape, once you're here in 90-90, you can actually use your left hand or your front hand, lean to the side and start to send the long leg back. Now, it does not have to roll forward and onto the floor. It can stay open a bit, using the hands to guide you and gently coaxing the chest forward. This is another way to start to build into the pose without unnecessary strain on the knees or the hips. So this is a great way to go for it if you're interested in developing the pose, taking time and being careful with the sensitive joints like knees and hips. So I hope that explains a few things about pigeon, gives you a few options. It's a complex pose and it takes some time to build if it's not in your repertoire. But if your knees say yes and your pelvis needs a little space, I highly recommend it. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.